Hi students, we had seen last time about IUPAC nomenclature of simple alkanes with simple side chains. Today in the second part, we will be studying about alkanes nomenclature having complex substituents. But before we go for alkanes with common complex substituents, we have to study how to name complex substituents separately. So let us begin first with naming complex substituents. Now for this we have chosen examples of some alkyl groups and their IUPAC nomenclature. So let us imagine how to give this thing. There is a rule but I will not read that rule. We will see the examples directly. If this is a substituent you are having, we also already know about the name of this. This is called methyl. Now the rule is where the dash is connected, where the incompleteness is there, that carbon is taken as the first carbon atom. Then from that we select the longest chain of carbon atoms. In this case, there is only one carbon, so it is called methyl. Imagine this second example. Which will be our first carbon in this case? It's going to be CH2. So this is first, this is second. There are only two carbon atoms, so it will be called the name ethyl. Similarly, if you are having a three carbon atoms chain, it should be called propyl. Now here comes confusion with many students. This name in common system is termed as N-propyl, but we are right now giving IUPAC names to the alkyl groups. So the terms like N, iso, sec, neo, tert do not appear over here. If a straight chain alkyl group is there, you just call it as methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl and so on. Imagine another one. This is also a straight chain compound alkyl group. This is having four carbon atoms in the straight chain. So it will be named as butyl. Similarly, if you are having a five carbon atoms chain, it should be called pentyl. So in this row, I have shown you all the examples which are only straight chain alkyl groups. There are no side chain groups. Now let us imagine alkyl groups on which side chains are present. For example, imagine this one. Now here the rule is very clear. Whichever group the dash is connected, that is the carbon atom here, is taken as carbon number 1 and travel either to the left side or to the right side such that you get the longest chain. Now in this example there is no big deal, there are only going to be two carbon atoms. So this is a chain of two carbon atoms on which on first carbon methyl group is present. So this will be named as 1-methyl ethyl. In common system, this same group is termed as isopropyl. But over here, this is called 1-methyl ethyl. Let us take one more example. If it is confusing, we will see more examples. Now imagine here, where is the dash, where is the connection present? It is present on this carbon. So this will be taken as carbon number 1. And accordingly, if I travel upward, this will be a chain of two carbon atoms. But if I go in this direction, it will be a chain of three carbon atoms. So I'm going to get a longer chain over here. So this three carbon chain means it is a propyl chain. And on propyl chain, on first carbon, there is a methyl group present. So it will be named as 1-methyl propyl. Let us try more, see if you are getting the hang of it. This is now carbon number 1 over here. This is second carbon, and you can either go upward direction or this direction. It's going to be same effect. So this is carbon number 3. And now you can see on the second carbon atom, there is a methyl group present. So it's called 2-methyl propyl. I hope the concept is clear how to write complex substituent names. Imagine some more examples, longer chains. Here you can see which is the long chain present here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 and 4, and on third carbon I can see a methyl group. So the name is 3-methyl butyl. Imagine this one. Here the carbon number 1 is first here, then second and third. And on this first carbon atom, there are 2 methyl groups present. So this will be called 1,1 dimethyl propyl. So important thing is where there is a bond of attachment, that carbon is always marked as number 1. This rule we should never forget. So you can see bond of attachment means this particular bond, and where it is connected, that carbon invariably without fail becomes carbon number 1. Imagine this one last example. Now you can see bond of attachment means this one. So this carbon has to be first, then the next is second and then third. And on second carbon I can see 2 methyl groups. So this becomes 2,2 dimethyl propyl. Do not forget this system, because now we are going to have alkane chains on which such complex groups will be connected. So let us begin with that part now. How to give IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes with such kind of complex substituents. Rule is written, but as usual we will see example, that's better. Now here you can see this is an example given, and for simplicity I have already marked the complex substituent group. So now you can see which is the long chain you are getting. This is a long chain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 carbon atoms. So this will be called nonene. Now comes the complex substituent. Complex substituent, besides this long chain, whatever is present here is this complex chain which is put up in a box already. Now first carbon is the one which is having a bond of attachment to the long chain. That means this will be the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. And on first carbon there is a methyl group, on second carbon there is a methyl group. So the complex substituent become 1,2 dimethyl propyl. Now find the locant number. This whole thing is connected to which carbon atom? From left hand side the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From right hand side it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both the ways the locant is 5 only. So the final name is 5 1,2 dimethyl propyl nonene. Watch here that this complex substituent whenever present, we have to write it in a round bracket, after which we write the long chain. Position number of this is written outside the bracket with a hyphen dash. This is our very simple first example with complex substituent. Let us come to another example, with the same rule. Now you can see the long chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once again there is a chain of 9 carbon atoms which is called nonene. Now my complex substituent is having first carbon, this one. So it is first, second, third, and on second carbon there are 2 methyl groups present. So it should be called 2,2 dimethyl propyl. And let us find the locant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this direction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both the directions the number is coming 5. So the locant is 5. And what will be the final name we will write? 5 in bracket 2,2 dimethyl propyl nonene. Just a repetition, no new rule has been introduced right now. Let us come to the second one. Another rule, another example. Now for this one, suppose you are having multiple side chains. For example, in this case, the long chain is this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the long chain is of decane. Now, which are the side chains we can see? One side chain is this complicated one, and the other side chains are methyl and methyl. So the side chain, which is complex one, let us name it first. First carbon, second, third, and fourth. And on second carbon, which is the chain present, two carbon atoms, that is ethyl. So the name is 2-ethyl butyl. Besides this complex substituents, you had two simple substituents, that is methyl and methyl, and they are present on locant number 3. So complex substituent present on locant 5, simple side chains are present on 3 and 3. Now we write the final name. Now how do we write a final name for this? Here the alphabetically first letter is ethyl, here it is methyl. So we write this part first. So the name is 5,2-ethyl butyl 3,3 dimethyl decane. 5,2-ethyl butyl in bracket, outside the bracket 3,3, methyl and methyl clubbed together as dimethyl followed by decane. Let us take one more example of the similar pattern. Now imagine the long chain here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This 11 carbon atom chain is called undecane. Now this substituent here can be seen as complex, first, second, third, and first has methyl, second has methyl. So this becomes 1,2-dimethyl propyl. Where is the locant number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the locant is number 5. Another side chain which is present is on 7th carbon atom, ethyl group. The locant position is 7th. So how do we write now final name? Here dimethyl propyl is D, and here E is for correction for alphabetical order. So we say 5, 1,2-dimethyl propyl 7-ethyl undecane. As a rule, whenever you are having a complex substituent with di or tri, that alphabet is taken for the comparison in alphabetical order. Let us come to another rule, another example. Imagine now we are having two complex substituents which are different ones. So here we select the longest chain first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the long chain is nonane. One complex substituent which I can see is upper one, which is 1, 2, 3 propyl, and on first carbon there are two methyl groups present. So it is 1,1 dimethyl propyl. The locant number seems to be 5. Now let us name the second one below. It is 1, 2 and 3, and on second position there is a methyl group. So it is 2-methyl propyl. Locant number is once again 5. Now alphabetically which one will you select? This is D and this is M. So since D is earlier, we select this part as alphabetically first one. So we write 5, 1, 1 dimethyl propyl, 5, 2-methyl propyl nonane. Every complex substituent has to be written in the round brackets. Only first letter has to be written capital, no other letters in capital. I have taken an example here where two complex substituents are present and both were different. What if the complex substituents are same? That also we will see. Before that, let us practice one more example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the chain is of decane. Let us name the complex substituent here. This is first, this is second. So this becomes 1,1 dimethyl ethyl. Position number seems to be 1, 2, 3 and 4. So locant is 4. Also we can see there is one side chain on third carbon, that is ethyl, and one on seventh carbon, that is methyl. So the locants are 4 and third and seventh. So now we see about the alphabetical order. This is D, this is E and this is M. So we write them just alphabetically. 4, 1 comma 1 dimethyl ethyl, 3 ethyl, 7 methyl decane. The way I have done it part by part, that is the way you have to solve. If you randomly try to do anything else other than this, there is a full chance of going wrong. So the steps are: number 1, find the parent chain, long chain. Number 2, find complex side chain, name it, find the locant. Number 3, if there are any other side chains, find them, find their locant. You have to write in exams these things little in rough side, rough paper. Then decide alphabetically whichever is first and then make a final name. Do not try to go and finally directly write the name. You might go wrong if you are not an expert in it. Let us see another example of this, where you are having two similar side chains but on different carbon atoms. So let us see this quickly. This is a long chain of 12 carbon atoms called dodecane. 12 carbon is called dodecane. One side chain complex substituent present is first, second, third and fourth. On first carbon there is a methyl group, so it is 1 methyl butyl. Another one below is this is by the way on the fifth carbon, locant is fifth. Another side chain below is 1, 2, 3, 4 and the name would be 2 methyl butyl. The locant seems to be seventh. Now comes here a tie. You can see the names of both of them are similar: methyl butyl, methyl butyl. Since the spellings are same, we cannot compare alphabetically. So the rule says compare numerically. Whichever is a earlier number, take that as a first one. So the name becomes 5, 1 methyl butyl, 7, 2 methyl butyl dodecane. This rule is only to be used when both the complex substituents are having a similar spelling but numbers are different. You might think, if both of them are similar, what is to be done? That is our next example. Imagine this example where you are having now a chain of totally 10 carbon atoms, and you can see a long complex substituent here as 1, 2, 3, which will be named as 1 comma 1 dimethyl propyl. Position number seems to be 5 again. And check the second one now. It is 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be once again 1 comma 1 dimethyl propyl, and coincidentally this is also on locant number 5. Now comes a situation where both the complex substituents are exactly identical. So usually when you are having a simple substituent, we use the words di, tri, tetra. But for complex substituents, the suggested words are bis, tris and tetrakis. So if the group is repeated twice, we use this prefix called bis before the name. So the name becomes 5 comma 5 bis 1 dimethyl propyl in round bracket and decane. If the same group was repeated third time, then we would have written tris, indicating the same group is repeated 3 times. This completes our IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes to the complete thing. In the next video, we will be seeing IUPAC nomenclature of alkenes, alkynes and complex substituents on them.